Star Trek. Voyager is better today than it was 30 years ago. When Star Trek Voyager first launched in 1995, it was met with mixed reactions. Fans and critics alike were intrigued by the premise. A Starfleet crew stranded far from home in the Delta Quadrant, cut off from the Federation, but uncertain about how this series would fit into the larger Star Trek universe. Fast forward 30 years, and Voyager has aged in a way few anticipated. What once felt experimental or uneven now resonates with clarity, depth, and a sense of ambition that contemporary audiences can appreciate in ways early viewers often overlook. One of the most immediate ways Voyager shines today is through its commitment to character-driven storytelling. At the time, critics often dismissed Captain Janeway as too stern or even cold compared to her predecessors. But looking back, her leadership style reads as remarkably modern. Janeway is a woman in a position of ultimate authority, navigating not only life and death scenarios, but also the moral ambiguities of command in uncharted space. Today, with audiences more attuned to complex, multifaceted female protagonists, Janeway stands out as a pioneering figure in science fiction. Her strength isn't just in her decisions, it's in how those decisions affect her crew, creating layers of tension, loyalty, and occasional conflict that make her story arc richer than many realize. The supporting cast, too, has benefited from the passage of time. Characters like Seven of Nine and Chakotay were initially met with skepticism. Seven, introduced mid-series, was criticized for being a fan service addition, but in hindsight, she's one of Voyager's most compelling explorations of identity and humanity. Her struggle to reconcile her bored past with her present individuality raises questions about autonomy, trauma, and the essence of what it means to be human. Questions that resonate even more in today's era of discussions about technology, surveillance, and selfhood. Similarly, Chakotay's role as Janeway's second-in-command and spiritual counterpart is more interesting when viewed through the lens of contemporary storytelling, which values layered, morally conscious characters. The Delta Quadrant itself, which some viewers initially found repetitive or isolating, now feels like a bold narrative decision that allowed Voyager to push the boundaries of Star Trek's universe. In a pre-internet era, the idea of exploring a completely unknown quadrant was ambitious, and sometimes the episodic nature of the series made it feel uneven. Today, however, the long-form narrative potential of Voyager, the ongoing tension of being light years from home, the constant challenge of survival without immediate support from the Federation, prefigures many of the serialized storytelling trends we see in modern sci-fi. Episodes that were once dismissed as filler now feel like careful world building, each alien encounter, star system, or technological dilemma contributing to a larger, coherent story of resilience and discovery. Technology and special effects, too, cast Voyager in a new light. While some of the 90s CGI now looks dated, the creative solutions the production team employed to depict alien worlds, ships, and phenomena demonstrate a level of ingenuity that resonate in an era where practical effects are increasingly celebrated. The Delta Flyer shuttlecraft, for instance, remains an iconic piece of Star Trek tech, not just for its design, but for how it expanded storytelling possibilities. Modern viewers, accustomed to high-budget sci-fi, can appreciate how Voyager made the most of its constraints, turning necessity into creativity, a hallmark of great science fiction. Perhaps the most underappreciated aspect of Voyager's legacy is its willingness to tackle moral and philosophical questions that still feel relevant today. Episodes exploring the ethics of artificial intelligence, the responsibilities of leadership, or the challenges of cultural assimilation are richer when revisited with modern perspectives. Seven of Nine's assimilation and eventual struggle for individuality mirrors contemporary debate about identity and technology. The Hiragins hunting episodes highlight the cost of tradition and obsession, issues that feel strikingly contemporary in a world increasingly obsessed with status and competition. These themes, often buried beneath the surface at the time of airing, are now strikingly prescient, giving the series a timeless quality that early reviews couldn't fully capture. Lastly, there's an emotional resonance in Voyager that often goes unmentioned. 30 years later, we can appreciate the show's exploration of isolation, community, and hope. Watching a crew forge bonds while cut off from home for years underscores not only the human capacity for resilience, but also the power of collective effort. In an age when viewers are drawn to stories about global crises, long-term survival, and the human spirit under pressure, Voyager feels ahead of its time, an optimistic yet grounded story that balances adventure with emotional depth. In the end, Star Trek Voyager is better today because time allows us to see its ambition, its moral complexity, and its emotional resonance in full. 30 years ago, Viewers were perhaps too close to the series' quirks and experimental elements to appreciate its depth. Today, with a lens sharpened by modern storytelling sensibilities and cultural awareness,